Good morning, guys. I had intended on getting up early today and going to a particular trail that's about an hour away from me, since I had the night off last night. And unfortunately, my body just did not wake me up on time. I know I should have I should have set an alarm, but I went to bed around 11:30, so I thought for sure I would wake up by 8 a.m. I did not. I woke up at 11 a.m. So I've decided to just go to a local trail that's like maybe 7 minutes away from me. I've been there for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months. And I don't have any specific plans, so we'll just see what happens. It's still going to be a great day to get out instead of being stuck in the house. Okay, if you haven't guessed, we're at Clarence Shock Memorial Park, and this is a place where there is a locally famous tower that was dedicated to a former worker in this area. His name was, they called him Governor Dick, but that wasn't his real name. But anyway, I'm not sure which way we're going to go today. I'm not necessarily trying to get to the tower. We parked down here at the Environmental Education Center and started at this trail. And as you can see right here, it tells you can go either way to get to the tower. Now, I've been to the tower multiple times. We're just going to go to the left here. And, it's a little bit... it's fascinating, and you have really good views when you get up to it, but climbing up that tower is a little crazy because it's kind of claustrophobic. If you don't have issues with claustrophobia, you'll be fine. The thing, I don't really have a lot of issues with that, but I also don't like the fact that my backpack scrapes the whole way up because it's that tight. You go from one ladder on one side, then you go up a ladder on this side, then you get back over a ladder on that side, and it just goes back and forth like that. So we're at another trail junction here. Today I'm just out here, to get a nice breath of fresh air and, walk around. There's not a lot of color left in the trees, as you can see. But we are still out getting fresh air. Let's just continue down here. There is a path that way, but I'm not sure if that goes anywhere. We're just gonna head up this way. Like I said, I don't really have a plan. It's just one of these days where I needed to get out of the house, and I got up late, didn't get to go where I wanted to go, but here we are. But as you walk up the hill here, the first trail that I'm on, already there are so many trails off to each side, and they all go to somewhere different. I'm going to turn right here and go up the Fire Road Trail, I think it's called. You should have a trail map if you're not familiar with the park, but we're taking this one today. I don't think I've ever actually just been on this one. This one goes right up kind of through the middle of the park. I don't anticipate seeing a lot of points of interest, but you can look around and maybe guess at some things. This here looks like it was some kind of an open pit for a mining area, and there's lots in the park from watching other people's videos, people that know what they're talking about historically, but I didn't again research that. I'm just going to try to go on this little walk today and get some fresh air. This trail here is marked by red blazes. So the path that I'm on now, which is the fire road, takes you directly up to the tower. It's probably the most direct route to the tower from the environmental center. But there are also plenty of other trails to take off to the left and right. As I walk up through here today, a little out of breath. Like I said, it's some uphill. But you can hear lots and lots of shots being fired. Now, I'm pretty sure they don't allow hunting within the park, but I still brought along plenty of orange. I have orange tape on my backpack, and I have an orange buff that I can either put over my head or keep it on the back of my backpack. After about 200 and some feet, it flattens out a little bit on this trail. As I said, the whole way up, there are lots of trails to the left and right that you can explore. So it's about 46 degrees today. Not, you know, super cold. The only thing cold on me is my ears, which is why I have my buff on. I did something before I left the house today because I was watching another YouTuber, and I never thought to do this, but I have one of those, what's the name of the company? I can't remember. It's a buff by a certain company. I have Dirty Girl Gators, but I'm not sure who the buff company is. But anyway, it was a little bit big, like long, and never thought to do this, but someone else cut theirs in half. So that's what I did today, thinking, okay, that's going to be a lot easier, and I'll have one around my neck, one around my head. But I actually just put the other one over my ears, because my ears are that cold. I just had a runner go by, scared the bejesus out of me. And the other buff I have is my orange one, so it wasn't showing before it was under my hat. But I carry that one for color and also for over my head if I need it. So going up the fire trail, you are going up for about 200, 210 feet, but then it gets more flat. All the other ways and trails I've taken up to this tower previously were steeper and longer. So if you want the shortest, most direct route with the least elevation, I imagine, not 100% sure, but I imagine that that's one of the easiest, less out of breath trails that you can take. But again, there are so many trails in this park. It's another one that looks really interesting. I might take that on the way back. There's just so many that I can explore, and that one looks real interesting. But right here is Governor Dick Tower.
Hello, Governor.
I'm going to climb up this tower again, folks, and I'm going to take you along with me. Right, little door here, and right away you can see this is how wide it is. I don't know if you can tell how narrow this is, but it is pretty narrow. So you start out going up the ladder, and then you will slide over to a ladder on the left side, and that's how it goes the whole way up. So let's attempt this. Okay, I tried to get up here with one hand and hold the camera, but it's going to be impossible. So there's where we started. Now we're on the next ladder. A little hold a look out. We're going to go up this ladder and that ladder. Eventually we'll get to the top. But unfortunately, guys, I can't take you along with me. If I had a chest vest on, I could hold my camera on that, but I don't today. See you at the top. Okay, I made it. On the way up, I counted 9 ladders. I'm going to recount them on the way down. But About the 6th ladder, you have to stop and catch your breath. But I'm up here and I'm going to show you what it looks like from the top of this tower. There's a 360-degree view. Unfortunately, as you can see, there's bars around it. That's, you know, for safety. But, you know, I kind of wish they would have just used a regular railing and you could get a better, you know, picture of things. But here we go. Okay, looking down, that is the path that we came in on. And there's the bench where I set my phone to take a picture. And yeah, this is the kind of view you get, unfortunately, through the bars. But it's really foggy out today. I can see other mountains in the distance there, but they are not going to show up on my camera. Seems like it's much colder up here as well. But you can walk all the way around. You can see the different trails through the park. And back to where we started. Let me stick my phone through this. Alright, so there's a better view. I can't really walk around this way, but this is what you get at the top. Now inside, once you get to the top, there's the thing that you came up in on, and you can see it is just littered with graffiti here. But you know, as opposed to the last time I was up on this tower, there's no one here. I went in a warmer season before. There's where you come up and out of the ladder, looking down. There you go. You go back down. The first part of the trip down is the same ladder as you come up on, but then you're going down on the opposite side of the ladder system in there. And it's really, really close quarters in there. I am not really great with that. I don't like small spaces, but you know, you do get a super nice view up here, and it is much better when it's not foggy out. All right, let's head back down. Okay, so I counted 8 ladders on the way down. I think that I'm just like getting distracted while I'm inside the tower and not counting right. So there's 7, 8, 9 ladders in there. That's all I can tell you. But when you come out, you're going to come out to an area, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 benches. And then there's 2 concrete picnic tables. And in the warmer season, I see a lot of people bringing their kids up here just to play in the woods, and the parents sit around and talk at the tables. So I'm just gonna sit here and eat a Slim Jim or 2 and enjoy the day. No, you can't beat a Slim Jim for a trail snack. So good. Okay, so from the tower, I'm going to take a path right immediately behind it. I've never gone this way either. I also want to note, there's a sign on there, on that tower, that says no rappelling. There's the top of the tower. That's because I imagine some of the rock climbers around here have attempted to rappel off of it before, which wouldn't be great for the little gate up there. I imagine over time that would weaken, but also I'm sure they're worried about safety. But let's just check out paths back here. There's a number of them. Some of them aren't even marked. Like there's a little pathway through there. I don't know where that goes. That might be interesting. Yeah, I can't resist this. There's actually a bushcraft fort back through here, so maybe that's where it's just leading to. Kind of cool. Look at this one. Awesome. I'm sure someone made it just to see if it could be done, because I imagine they patrol this area. You're not allowed to camp up here. But let's go inside, shall we? Ooh, this one's very nicely made. I'm sure at one time it probably had more debris because there's a big open part there. And unless you wanted to have a campfire, you wouldn't really need that. And to be fair, it wouldn't protect you from the rain. Some little rocks to sit on. Kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. Show you around the outside of it. It's all nicely covered, just needs a little work. Yeah, fill in a few gaps. And again, there's lots of paths behind here. I'm not sure which one I want to follow. This one has a little birdhouse on the tree, but it's not very well marked. I don't even think there is an actual path back through here, but maybe there is. Oh, I see one down there, so maybe this is a shortcut to that path. So let's try this one over here just for a little bit and see where it goes. Just curiosity today. I have a couple hours to kill, and let's see what we can see. Hey, it did eventually just come out to another marked path. I saw over here on the side, there's still some berries. Not sure what that bird is. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. People out here riding their bikes today. I only saw a couple hikers though, maybe two. And again, I think we're on this Red Blaze Trail, but it's a little different side of it. It looks to be like some kind of overlook. It says Le Rock. Le Rock. Right now you can't see anything from up here. But maybe when all the leaves are gone. Oh my gosh, I just saw a deer down through the woods. Did you see it? I can still see its tail. This little baby. That was wild. I didn't think I'd see anything from up here, but I saw a deer. Yeah. All right, let's keep it moving. Lots to explore today. So I'm just wandering around on random trails. I do have a map of the park downloaded. There's a lot of trails that are not on that map. This one is, it has blue blazes. I don't know that there's anything of particular interest, but this park is so close to my house. I mean, literally, if I wanted to walk to it, I could, but I didn't want to. It's a busy road to walk to it. It is also right in the backyard of one of my neighbors, and I attempted last summer to get to the park through that pathway, but it was not it was full of thorns, and it was just impossible to get through. But on some of the other videos I've made, the outer loop of Governor Dick, I pointed out where my house was from part of the trail. So I'm literally that close. It's pretty much my backyard, if you want to put it. And I am practicing once again with my selfie stick. I'm going to have lots of time now to do that kind of stuff on day hikes. But if I do get up on time, I'm going to be going to parks that are further away. So next week, I'm going to have to set my alarm. I just can't trust myself or my brain to wake me up on time. I'm off mostly Thursday nights for the next month or so, and that means I can get to bed early and get up and hike on Fridays. I don't generally like to start until 11 a.m. because I want to sleep a little bit, you know? So sometimes that backfires though, because today I woke up at 11. So a couple of interesting piles of boulders I went out to, but didn't go all the way around them. Just making notes for other times to explore, I guess. Just basically trying to learn the park, since I didn't get to do that last year. I'm up on a ridge where there's several trails. This one down below us is a trail that goes directly back to the outer loop of the park. There's some trees marked for being cut down along this trail here. And I read too, I think it's an Uncharted Lancaster or Uncovering Lancaster, something like that, that there is a geocache back here. And it's a pretty interesting one. I'm gonna have to look that up again. And apparently the Ark of the Covenant is located in it. And it looks really like a fun thing to find. But you have to follow coordinates and stuff like that, which I've never done that kind of stuff. There's never a time where you can't add to your skills. And I plan on doing that, especially because this park is so close. It's just begging to be explored. And it's so quiet today. I'm also testing out a new pair of hiking pants that I got that were, I guess a reference, given to me by my friend Darcy. She has these really cool fleece lined or fur lined, I don't know what they are, but they're really warm leggings, and they have two really nice pockets that are deep, and you can put your cell phone and keys in them. And so far, I really like them, and they're really warm. I know that, oh, I think I know what this is. This is Mount Gretna community, I think, down here. And you can go through on the outer loop of the park past this. I think I recall going through here. So I think this is one of the places in Mount Gretna. And there's a Chautauqua trail, and there were Chautauquas in Mount Gretna. And I'll explain that when I get back home. I'll put that in the video. Very interesting group, and interesting thing to have, focused on the arts and, you know, kids and families doing things together. But let's get back on the other trail. And the trail I am on now is the Chautauqua Trail. So. And as you can see, horse exhaust. People do ride horses back through here. I haven't seen any in my travels back through here, but obviously they do. Okay, we're soon back to the car. I just wanted to point out before we go that direction, which is to the left. This comes out to the Pinch Road where you started on. And across the road from here is State Game Lands 145. And there are numerous trails in there. I went on a bunch of them this summer, and those videos are on my channel. So, as you can see, plenty to explore where I live. You know, different parks, different game lands, and I absolutely love it. Where I lived before was close to the city, and you had a few parks, Rocky Ridge, I can't remember the other one, John Rudy, Then there was a couple you could just walk around in the loop, Spring's Berry. And you could also get to Susquehanna Riverlands area where Shoals Rock is from where I lived. But you know, if you go on those so many times, you get kind of like bored with them. But here where I'm at, there's so much to explore. It's going to take me at least a couple years to explore just the area I'm in. And I've also been going everywhere this past summer and fall, up north a lot, out northwest a little bit, some to the east but not real far. And there are so many places here. I think you can't possibly get bored of them. Okay, I'm back to the parking lot here, and I just want to say a couple more things. You have a lot of good things about this park. It just seems weird. I've done like maybe 3 or 4 videos on this park, and they don't get very many views. I don't know what it is, but they just don't. But it is a really super nice park. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better. And I'll show you the parking lot from up here and point out a few more things that are good about the park before we head out of here. Okay, so you have pavilions for picnicking, plenty of parking. They even have a place over there where you can do presentations. You see all the benches. There's nice little lit a lit parking area. You know, it's not completely dark. There's a light there, light there. There's lights all the way around the environmental center. There's plenty of benches on the trail as well. There's bathrooms here at the center. There's several ways to access the outer loop of the trail as well. Different parking areas for the outer loop. And there's an accessible boardwalk trail for those that cannot do the types of walks that I do, or you know, going up hills or on uneven surfaces such as those in a wheelchair. But they do have this really nice little boardwalk area behind the environmental center, and it's kind of long for a boardwalk, and it overlooks some of the nicer areas of the park. So yeah, just a lot of different things to see here. There are rock climbing areas, and they have competitions here in the summertime. So, you know, give it a visit. It's a really nice park, and I'd like to see more people get to enjoy it. I also forgot to mention that right across from the entrance to this park isn't all the trails, you know, that I said were in State Game Lands 145, but on all trails under this park, they list Dinosaur Rock. Dinosaur Rock is not really part of Clarence Shock Memorial, but you can get there the long way. If you go straight across the road, there's a trail from here to Dinosaur Rock. I believe it's about 3 to 5 miles. I'm not sure on that one. So that's just yet another good thing about this park. You know, you have access to that trail for something like that. You can get to Dinosaur Rock much easier if you just want to see that. I think it's going down 117 and around, but it goes right up to a parking space, and you walk literally across the road, and it's back in the woods, you know, not even a quarter mile. So anyway, I'm glad you joined me on this walk today, and it was about 3 miles, a very short one just to get out in the fresh air, and I will see you next time on the trail. Namaste.